Hello everyone. Today we shall study about the structure of a cell. This is a chapter from class 8. In this chapter we shall study about the basic structure of a cell. What are various components of the cell? What are the shapes, different shapes of the cell, and how many cells are present in the organisms that we shall study in this chapter. We all know that this cell is the building block of the organ. Cell was discovered by the scientist Robert Hooke in the year 1665. He observed it for the first time in the cork cell, and he saw there are small boxes. There is some honeycomb-like structure, and he named these small boxes or the compartments as the cell, because the cell in Greek language means a small compartment or a small room. So Robert Hooke gave the name cell to the structure present in the cork slice. This is how the cell was discovered. From here you can compare the cell structure with the bricks in the wall. You can see there is similar alignment of cells and the bricks. As the bricks are required for making the walls, similarly, the cell is required for making the structure, body structure of the organisms. Here you can compare the onion peel having the various plant cells with the wall having bricks. There are various organisms which are made up of just one cell. One such example is the amoeba, paramecium, and euglena. All these organisms are unicellular. Unicellular means they are having just one cell, and all the functions are carried out by this single cell. The functions like the nutrition, respiration, excretion, and reproduction. All these functions will be carried out by this single cell in case of amoeba and paramecium. But on the other hand, there are some other organisms which are having group of cells, millions of cells. And the cells which are similar in structure and they perform a special function, they are grouped to form a tissue. And tissues are grouped to form organs, and various organs work together to form the organ system, like the digestive system, the respiratory system, the excretory system. All these are the organ systems. Here in this slide, you can see the unicellular organisms like the amoeba and the paramecium. Amoeba, as you all know, it is the organism which is having irregular shape. It can change its shape from time to time. And in the second diagram is the paramecium. It is also called a slipper shaped animals because the shape resembles to a slipper. There are some cells in the human body even which can change their shape, and one is WBC. The white blood cells are having the capacity to change their shape, and generally the cells are round. As you can see, the RBCs are round generally. The cells may be elongated and it may be spindle shaped even. The muscle cells, smooth muscle cells are spindle shaped. The spindle shaped cells means they'll be broader in the center and they will be narrow at the ends. And there are some cells which are having the long structure, the tree-like structure, and these cells are the nerve cells. Here you can see the structure of a nerve cell, and in this nerve cell we can see the dendrites, the nucleus, and the central long cylindrical part is called axon, and finally it ends into the nerve endings. So this is the structure of a nerve cell. The nerve cells are very long, and this is the longest cell in the human body, and the function of these nerve cell is to control and coordinate various functions of the body. It carries the messages from the brain to the effector organ. It receives the nerve impulse and then send messages to the brain. Here you can see different type of cells having different structures. There are some spindle-shaped cells, the WBC, RBC, and the nerve cells. Now we shall study about various components of the cell. The cell components are divided into three main parts. One is the cell membrane, then the cytoplasm, and third one is the cell organelles. Or you can say the nucleus. The major one is the nucleus. So we have cell membrane, cytoplasm, and the nucleus. We shall study all these three parts in detail. Cell membrane is the outer covering of the cell in the animal cell. But in case of plant cell, because they have to bear the harsh weather conditions, so they have an extra covering of cell wall. The cell wall is made up of cellulose and it provides rigidity and turgidity to the plant cell so that they can bear the harsh weather conditions. As we have discussed, the cells may be of various shapes and sizes. Cell may be as small as a millionth of a meter. It could be 10 raised to power minus 9 meter. Or it can be as large as 170 mm into 130 mm as that of the ostrich egg. So ostrich egg is the largest single cell, and the smaller cells includes this bacteria. They are very small. We cannot see these cells with the naked eyes. We need a high power microscope or the magnified microscope to study this cell. The cells are the structure which are grouped together to form tissues, and tissues further form organ. These organs are specialized for performing special. The cell membrane is the outermost covering which covers the cytoplasm and the nucleus, and it is made up of proteins and lipids. The cell membrane separates the cell from the outer medium, and this is a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane means it has some pores which allow the movement of selective substances in and out of the cell. Some substances can move inside the cell and some substances can leave the cell. You can understand this by the doing an activity that the resins kept in water, they just swell up because the water enters through the cell membrane into the cell. So the resins swell. So we shall study various parts of the cell and then we will discuss the functions of these different parts of the. The next one is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present inside the cell membrane and it is present outside the nucleus. So you can say that this cytoplasm is present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. And all the cell organelles like the mitochondria, the ribosomes, Golgi bodies, the plastids in case of this plant cell, and this endoplasmic reticulum and vacuoles, various other cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Next, the central structure in the cell is the nucleus. Nucleus is called the remote control of the cell. Why do we call it like that? Because it controls the various activities of the cell. It is a small spherical structure generally located in the center of the cell in case of animal cell, but in case of plant cell it is shifted towards the periphery because of presence of centrally located large vacuole. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. So it has its own membrane, and again this nuclear membrane is porous. That means it will allow the movement of substances between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So the substances can move in and out of the nucleus. So from here in this diagram, you can see the structure of the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there is another spherical structure called nucleolus. This contain the thread-like structures called chromosomes, and chromosomes carry the dot-like structures on them, which are called genes. Genes are the carriers of heredity. That means they carry the characteristics of parents to the offspring. That means the next generation. Parents to the children. The characteristics travel through the genes. And the chromosomes can be seen in the cell when the cell is about to divide. That means when the cell is fully mature, then only we can see the chromosomes. As I have already told you that the nucleus also act as a center of various activities of the cell. So we call it the remote control of the cell. And the entire content of the living cell is known as protoplasm. That means the cytoplasm and the nucleus together are called protoplasm. Protoplasm is called the living substance in the. Now we divide, to make the study of the organisms easier, we divide the cells into two types. One is the prokaryotic cell and the second one is the eukaryotic cells. The cells in which the nucleus is poorly defined, not well defined. There is no nuclear membrane outside the nucleus. In that case, it is called prokaryotic cells. And the cells where the nucleus is very well defined, it is having its own nuclear membrane, then it is called eukaryotic cells. In case of prokaryotic cell, the nuclear material is present in the form of thread-like structures only, and tangled mass is present, and the nucleus is not very well developed, and the various cell organelles are also absent in case of prokaryotic cells. But all these structures are present and are well defined in case of eukaryotic cell. Example of eukaryotic cells are all the cells except bacteria and blue-green algae. All the higher plants and animals, they come under the category of eukaryotic cells. As the name suggests, prokaryotic. Pro means very primitive, very old types. And karyon means the nucleus. That means the nucleus is not very well developed in case of prokaryotic cells. There are some cell organelles, and the one such cell organelle which we'll study today is the plastids. Plastids are present in the cytoplasm. They are scattered here and there in the cytoplasm of the leaf cell, and these cytoplasm are of three types. That means they are leucoplast, chloroplast, and chromoplast. The green plastids are called chloroplast because they do have a green pigment called chlorophyll, and chlorophyll helps in photosynthesis. This is essential for photosynthesis. And because it is done by the plants only, so the plastids will be present only in the plant cell. They will be absent in case of animal cell. Here from this slide, you can have an idea about the structure of plant and animal cell. As I have already told that in the plant cell, there is a large centrally located vacuole. And because of this reason, the nucleus is shifted towards the periphery. But in case of animal cell, the nucleus is present in the center. So this is a comparative study of plant and animal cell. There are various parts. You have to recognize whether it is present in plants or it is absent. So first, cell membrane. Cell membrane is present in both plant and animal cell. Cell wall present in plant, absent in animals. Nucleus is present in both. Nuclear membrane is present in both plant and animal. Cytoplasm is present in both. Plastids present in plants and absent in animal cell. Vacuole, one and large in plant, small and many are present in the animal cell. So this is all about the plant and animal cell. Thank you so much.